Hey there, it's Bijal, and I want to share something that just literally happened. Actually, happened about an hour ago, but then I had to give a interview, but I'm kind of back now. And it was one of those stomach churning moments as an entrepreneur. So let me walk you through what happened. So you may be familiar with this. So I'm going to switch over to screen share and I'll walk you through exactly what happened and why I wanted to talk about this today. So just give me a second here. I'm going to switch over to screen share. Okay. So you're probably familiar with this. It's on the good old fashioned Facebook there. An ad popped up and I literally just got done talking about copywriting. So of the many things that I am okay at doing, or semi good at doing, it's copywriting. But it's always a pain in the ass to write copy, whether it's email copy or sales copy. And so I clicked on the ad, and I'll pop over to the next screen here. And so it looks all good. So yeah, let me go ahead and went through the sales copy here. Looks compelling, and like you almost do, you go down to the most important part of this, which is bypass everything. Because in my head, I already wanted to figure out how to write better copy. Is there an easier process? Got to the bottom here. Where the hell is it? Okay. So create your first sales message. Okay. And they've changed this now. So when I did it earlier, it was actually $67 one time. So that was the offer. Okay, so this wasn't actually what was showing up when I first looked at it. Maybe it's changed somehow. Let me go back and see if I can trigger that sales page to come up, right? Because this is offering a one-time special. So let's trigger it. It's very possible that they've done it in a way that if you don't bite the first time, it's gonna nail you for the. Let's see. I've seen this happen before as well. Nope. Okay, so this is the one time. It's $67. So here's what happened. I start putting my name, and boom. All right. It looks like this email already purchased the following products. Are you sure you want to proceed? No, I don't want to proceed because I've already got it. But here's my point. Okay, let me just stop sharing here. Let me just come back to the thing. So here's my point. As entrepreneurs, people in general, you may have bought various programs or courses in the past, right? And if you've been on YouTube anytime recently, we are being bombarded by ads to buy this course, that course. Hey, and some of those courses are great. Many of my colleagues are selling programs, fantastic programs, getting amazing results. I work with some of them, but there's a lot of sleazy stuff out there making great big promises. But here's the thing. How are you making your decisions of what programs and courses to buy? Now, here's the funny thing. I actually teach this as part of my program in terms of before you buy a program or a course, go back to your course checklist or course list and see, have you got something similar? The reality is almost everybody I've ever worked with has spent thousands, if not tens of thousands, and a few hundreds of $1,000s in courses, programs, attending events and stuff. And it's almost an addictive behavior that I've seen in people to keep buying programs, especially the get rich quick money-making programs, that next big thing's going to change your life. So I, in the past, have created a checklist, and I went to find my checklist because I realized, hang on a second, why don't I have this particular program, the software tool, on my list? And so I quickly whipped up this checklist. We kind of zoom in here as a reminder for myself. Before I buy another course, program, software, checklist, this is what I want to make sure I do. It's a sound, logical, right decision before I spend yet more money. So let's talk about software, tool, and programs first. Do you see yourself using this in the next 30 days? So why only 30 days? Well, the good chances next month there may be something new and fresh, right? If you buy it today and you're not going to use it for another 30, 90 days, then it's probably going to not get used. Have you researched cheaper, better alternatives? A lot of these ads work on impulse buys quite often, but we wouldn't buy most things like that. We basically do our research, figure out what is the better tool. So before you buy something on impulse, do your research, see what else is out there. Do you have something like it already? Which means that, is it possible? Like in my case, I actually already had the same tool, but I just didn't know it. I hadn't tracked it. For some reason, it wasn't on my main list. So I must have been in a rush when I bought it and not actually logged it. And yes, guilty. Okay, so hey, I'm just hands up. I did this, even though I teach people not to do that. So there you go. Past purchases. So ask yourself these questions to help you make a better buying decision. What was the last program course you bought and how much did you spend on it? As I said, this process is not going to be comfortable for some people, okay? And here's what I'm going to encourage you to do one more step before you go on even further, or before you look at this. Take the time to make a master list of all the programs that you've bought, maybe last 24 months or so. If you want to even throw up even more, maybe the last 5 years or 10 years, and just remind yourself of how much money you've spent on those programs, and which of those programs you've actually fully gone through, fully followed through with, and implemented in your business. We are all guilty. Well, I won't say all, many of us, okay? Past purchases, again, have you used it? So whatever that last thing was, have you really properly used it? Have you benefited from it? Have you generated a ROI from it? Why did you buy it? What made you buy it? Why did you not follow through? Or if you did, great. But if you didn't follow through, why not? And what makes you think buying this next program is going to be any different from you? And here's some questions you can ask yourself about buying courses and programs. Did you find it? Means that you were intent on searching for it and looking for it, or did it find you? Now, I just had a realization, you are not actually seeing my checklist. So let me just do this. I'm going to come back here, and I'm going to actually share my screen again real quick. I think if you see it visually, I think it's going to have a better effect. So again, here's a checklist. If you want a copy of the checklist, let me know. Happy to share it with you, okay? So here's the software tool programs questions I just discussed. Here are the past purchases. Again, this is to get you aware of what you've done in the past before you make another buying decision. And these are questions you can ask yourself, which I just started, that you can ask yourself. Okay, so did you find it? Means that you were searching for it, or did it find you? Which means that it was advertising, which just happened to me. Why do you think you need it? Right. So take a moment to do this, because it's probably going to save you a small fortune if you have something like this to go through before you make buying decisions. Okay. Do you really need it? Why do you think you need it? Right. Have you bought a program or attended a program like this in the past? If this is a money-making program, are the testimonials and reviews genuine, right? So take a time, look at the reviews. Even reach out to people who are mentioning those reviews. Have they used it? A lot of times when you see reviews, especially guru reviews or expert reviews, they've never even seen the program or looked at a program before. So a lot of times there's a lot of misleading information out there that marketers are putting out there, okay? Have you searched the expert or the promoter? You can use name plus review, look on Google, look on YouTube. Have you searched the expert / promoter, name plus scam? Okay, let me just scam. Is there a free or low cost program or course as an alternative? Is there something out there on YouTube or Udemy or even LinkedIn that's usually a fraction of the price that's often sold at sometimes on these webinars, right? And finally, will you really make the time to follow through? That's the key thing here. So I've highlighted some of what I call the golden questions. So do you have something like it? If you're not sure, search your hard drive, right? What makes you think this time will be different? So you're going to buy something. What makes you think this time is going to be different? And finally, will you really make the time to follow through with your purchase, or will it be added to your collection of stuff on your hard drive? Let me just come back to the main screen here. So guilty by sharing. Okay, so I'm sharing this because I literally just did this, even though I'm aware of this It makes you realize that how gullible and sometimes, unorganized we can get, even in the best of times. So that's I just literally whipped that checklist together as my checklist for, making better decisions when it comes to buying courses and programs. If you're watching this and you think that might be useful to you, leave me a comment, send me a private message. Happy to share that with you. Remember, there's nothing wrong in buying courses and programs and software. We need tools, we need information, but make sure you're buying the right program at the right time for the right price for the right reasons. Hopefully that's been of use to you. Again, make it an epic day and make wiser buying decisions. Bye for now.